First of all,
Mm-hmm.
that face was meant to serve. Okay.
Baby.
In
Talk about it. Talk about
a
it.
world full of unservable faces, that face was meant to serve. Because they said disassociate, and he said, that's a model.
He said both.
I'm sorry.
A model. The
How do you
cheekbones,
look
the jawline.
that good disassociating? You, sir,
Never look
that's
better.
the art.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Top 5. You know, we're finally back from hiatus. Last week, we had a really great episode dealing with season 2 spoilers. But now we are talking about the Louvre, part deux. Okay, we're taking that part deux. We're taking that first class flight right on back to France.
We, you know what? We have been inspired by Connor and Hudson, who have both made trips to Paris in the last couple of months, as we have probably all seen on socials. And we thought,
a time or two.
And we thought, it's been a while since we had been to the Louvre.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time we were there, we talked about the scenes that we thought should make a Louvre gallery, but now we're going to another part of the Louvre, right, Tyra? What are we exploring this time around?
We are exploring the still shots, the frames that feel like a fine art installation. And there are many. Yes. I feel like, Nicole, we went back and forth on this. There are way too many. So maybe in the future there'll be a part 3 to this. But we are going to delve into a part 4. We're going to delve into all of these beautiful shots that, Jackson and their on-set photographer Jess brought to life. So I'm super excited for this one, you guys. This is gonna be a good one.
I'm so excited because we also explored some scenes in this episode that we actually haven't talked about as much in some of our other episodes. So yeah, I'm very excited. And with that, Tyra, kick us off. What is our number 5? It could be a painting in the Louvre moment.
It could be a painting in the Louvre. This number 5 shot we have is from episode 2. And it's after Shane and Ilya have their first penetrative sexual experience, where they're both completely blissed out. And right before Shane, mood ruiner, he never could, but talks about the bed being dirty. There is this image, and it is like Donatello and Michelangelo merge their 2 statues of David. They look sickening.
They do.
Visually, what I love about this is just the scene is in darkness, and like most sex scenes in media now are, in the shade of darkness. But this one is really significant because this is a hidden relationship. They have to be in darkness. And the only thing that's really highlighted is Ilya's face and kind of where he's touching Shane. The reverence in his touch of Shane is the light that's surrounded in all of this darkness. And it's so incredibly beautiful. And I think it's just so emotionally charged because this is a hookup at the end of the day, right? This is not supposed to be anything serious. And the intimacy in that moment does not say that. It says these are 2 people who are connected. And it's just, it's a beautiful shot. Nicole, what do you think?
I mean, the thing is, it's obviously, to your point, it is such a fleeting moment, right? Mm-hmm. It's not the vibe of that entire scene, but if you look at the shot, and at this point, I'm sure we put it up on screen.
It'll be there.
And it might be here now. We'll put it a lot during these conversations, but it's that looked like peace to them. When I look at that shot, it's to your point, this is supposed to just be a hookup. This is supposed to be we're only a few years into their dynamic of their relationship at this point, and they're still these 2 very young men, and they have not defined this relationship. But looking at that still shot, I see so much love and care, and just a level of peace that I don't know if they felt in any other part of their lives. And just just looking at it aesthetically, I mean, it looks like a painting. Like, we've all talked about Connor's story. He looks like there's a Christmas movie about like the snowman who becomes a real man, and it's the weirdest Christmas movie on Hallmark that's ever existed. But y'all need to watch it. Y'all should watch it, but it's very similar to this. Like, there's some Greek statue somewhere in this world that like woke up and was like, I think I'm gonna go be an actor, be back, and never went back. And like, it's Connor's story. Like,
it's Connor's story.
Looks like
he is David.
Greek. He looks like, it's insane.
It's insane.
And I love what you said about like the shadows and the light and the dark. I also said the other thing that reminded me about a painting is that I'm no artiste, you guys, but
you're not.
as we know with art, a lot of times in still art, there's like a triangle, I guess like dynamic that artists use when they're creating it. And if you look at this photo, there is a natural framing that kind of creates triangle. You have Shane's kind of face, Ilya's face, and then there's like Shane's hand resting in Ilya's hair. And like, I wish I could see it while we're talking, but I can't. But I saw that. I felt like I was moving between 3 points when I was watching or looking at this still.
That's such a good point. That's such a good point you made. That's such a good point you made.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it is the like, it's kind of elevates the like depth perception that like triangles that like and there is a deepness in this moment. I just think that's their strength. I'm sorry. Continue.
No. I mean, and the only thing I was gonna say when you were talking about, and I'm gonna be referencing my notes, y'all. Just if you see me look down, it's because I'm not coming off the top of the head with this. You wrote stuff down, and I am not even going to act like I can speak eloquently about any of this. But with the lighting, to me, this is at this point the softest we've ever seen the lighting be with them. And that represented to me that like at this point the rivalry had disappeared, the performance of who they are, Shane and Ilya, disappeared, the masks and everything, and like the cinematography reflected that like we're finally at this point looking at the real Shane and Ilya. Because even before, like, when you see them together, there are these roles that they kind of were playing in a way. And just, like, the limited amount of time you saw them together. But this is the first time where you just kind of saw them intimately be in one space. And, like, see what that looked like. Before, both of them kind of, like, woke up to the realization of the situation before, like, Shane kissed his forehead and Ilya's like, wait a minute, I'm feeling things, I have to go. This is, like, it was before they both kind of felt like I gotta play into these roles. It's like you kind of just saw like, wait, there's like this level of love and care that you didn't know existed.
The first signs, and you know what? It's so beautiful because it mirrors the still frame from our thumbnail on our first Louvre video, which is them in episode 6. They're very similar because Shane is in repose in the same way. Hands in Ilya's hair like he is. Ilya rubbing on Shane's thigh and body. And it's like we've gone back to what we felt in those initial moments, that connection that we felt in those initial moments of that beautiful night. And we finally get to continue this a decade later, which is insane. We get to go back to this. Oh my God. We get to go back to this moment 10 years later. We wanted this for over 10 years. And we finally get it.
That's the thing. And the thing is, even like when you look at their other times together, intimately or not, it's like, I don't know. I just felt like the way this was like shown, it's just like, their bodies, the way it almost looks as like one. Like it you know, it's like there isn't like in the first scene where they hook up and it's like Ilya's lying here and Shane's lying here, and you know he's giving, I don't even know what we could say on YouTube, but you know, like they're like doing their thing, like he has a turn and he has a turn. Sorry, because I really don't know, and we've already got one of our videos striked, so I'm like really not trying to do that again.
Be careful.
But it's just like, it always feels like separate. Like, all right, I pleasure you, you pleasure me, or like, I'm laying here and I'm laying here, or like the rivals, like, I'm over here and I'm over here. And this was just like the first time where it was like, they kind of seemed inseparable and almost just like one piece of a puzzle. Like almost like one paint stroke. Like when I look at that, it just looks like one like paint stroke aligned together. I don't know.
It also like really does indicate, how their dynamic is in a relationship, because Ilya is there like worshiping Shane. There's reverence in that. And Shane is cradling Ilya's hair. He is caring for him. He's protecting him. And that is very much their dynamic of how they show up for each other in that relationship, which I think is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this picture.
No, literally, if it weren't of two real people, like if this was just like, I would like hang this somewhere, because it looks like
there are a couple from the
art.
show. Yeah, there's a couple from the show that I actually do want painted, like sunset and sunrise.
No, that one.
I need that. I need that.
I need that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't justify having a naked Connor Story and Hudson Williams on my wall. That's just like
art, Nicole. It's high art.
Girl, this is already too much. So there are lines that need to be drawn. That's my line. I can't. But the beach, I'll do the beach.
I cannot. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, Nicole, what do we have as our number 4 fine art still frame?
Okay, our number 4 is that face-off we get during the commercial in episode 1. So I thought this was, I don't know, it's really interesting, right? Because I don't know if people would actually put this on the list, but I know for sure. It's such a beautifully framed shot. A couple of things I wrote down as like why it looked like a painting is the composition is almost like mathematically symmetrical, right? Like
it's so pleasing.
It's so pleasing. And then you have the backlighting. It strips away their identities. So it kind of reduces them to archetypes of who they are as Shane and Ilya as like hockey rivals versus who they are as Shane and Ilya. And then you have, at least in the shot that we chose for this, that there's like this bright halo behind them that is created, I think, by the lighting. And so it starts feeling, I said it feels less like a commercial or sports like shoot and more like mythological figures facing each other before a duel, because that was kind of like the vibe of what they are externally to people, right?
Yes.
And so you see like everything feels carefully staged. Like when you look at them, it's like his arm's here and he's holding the puck like this, and they're just like it's very just like staged in the same way that like their external lives are
the outward perception of who they are. Yeah, that's so true.
And so I said like every line and all the shadows and every light, they exist to create like this perfect image of what the hockey world wants and needs them to be in that moment.
I love that because that's so true. This is the outward perception of who they are. They are rivals, right? But what I love is because they're in shadow, you can't see what they're saying to each other or how they're looking at each other, because that is the thing that they have to keep private. As we see in their 10+ relationship, are the looks and the words. And
we get to see it.
And we get to see it. And we get to see it. And that beautiful like spotlight illuminating them. And illuminating them for the reasons that they would never want them to be illuminated, because they're rivals. But they want they want the spotlight to be illuminated because they're lovers. And they love each other and they have this deep connection. And as we talked about last week's episode, we talked about
spoiler. Yes,
spoiler
when
show.
they're
Oh,
right.
Sorry. But yeah, it's a beautiful shot. Like the lighting in it, that like bluish kind of like pale light. Oh,
so good.
So freaking good.
And so I put in my notes that I loved what you just said. I love the lens flare here because it acts almost like this visual barrier that runs between them. So symbolizing what you said, like the public image separating them from like the limelight and literally who they are at that point. And even though, like, I think in the photo, they're only like a few inches or maybe a foot apart.
Yeah.
The light is the thing that keeps that emotional distance between who they are and then obviously like who the public needs or sees them as being. And I just thought it was just such an interesting choice to include this because, right, this wasn't in the books that the commercial meant as much, that Ilya staged this and brought them together and all of these things. And I just loved this visual that, and I will give you credit for like pulling this out because when we were first putting this list together, this would not have been on my list at the beginning. And then when you showed me the frame, and it was just like this, if you would ask me any photo from or any of the images or stills that we get, I would say this is the one that really represents what Heated Rivalry is about.
Yes, I agree.
Because it's two people who on the surface look like they're at odds. Yeah. But really what we're seeing is two people in the same fight together.
Yes.
Like they're just, they're one, what do you call it? The coin, the same side
two
of the
sides of
thank you.
Yeah, two sides of the same coin. Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. It's 10:30, so I'm like, what do we say?
But you're so right, because honestly, when we were talking about this episode and I was like going through still frames, this wasn't a shot that I thought of initially, but as I was going through episode by episode, I had like a visceral reaction to this. For your point exactly, that just they are seemingly in opposition, but want to be so connected. And I think like thoughts of the scene like played in the back of my mind of how they just like they're having fun together and they're laughing, and still it's just like, no, you guys are rivals. Like the director, like, can we finish this up, guys? Can we hurry this up? Can we do this? And I'm just like,
which no. Shout out to Jacob Tierney.
Shout out for Jacob.
Him.
What an actor, multi-talented man.
Those acting moments from Are You Afraid of the Dark, which is where I know him from when I was little. They came through.
Yeah. Listen, a top export from Canada. But yeah, it's just, it was such a beautiful scene. I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm having such a visceral reaction to this. But there's so much subtext under it.
And when you just even think about rivals in real life, like sport, I mean, you and I, Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal, it's like, their stories can never be separate. You cannot talk about Federer or Nadal without talking about the other. And And it's very similar to Ilya and Shane, obviously for very different reasons, but it's like, the world can put them at opposition. They could say they hate each other. They or play against, rival teams or whatever it is. But even before the romance started, because this was obviously before the romance started, they've been a part of each other's stories and lives. And I felt like this was like a visual representation of that like they have been with each other and like together since the beginning of their hockey journeys. And I just, I love that this shot exists.
And they will be intertwined forever.
Forever.
Because they're the only two who truly understands what it means to be in this situation. And that's the great thing about the rival, like you just talked about with Rafa and Nadal, but like the top like 1 and 2 of any sport end up somehow having this like really deep relationship, even if they're not close. There's a deep relationship because
there's a bond.
There's a bond. Yeah, we are the only ones that know what this feels like. Oh my god!
You know what's so funny? I hate to keep bringing this up, but do you remember that commercial with Roger Federer and Rafa Nadal when they couldn't stop laughing, and it went viral because everyone was like, "Oh my god, they like each other. They're like friends. Are they? Is this okay?" And I can imagine that's why this rings so true for us when we watch it, because it's like.
We remember those times.
This would be crazy if I were a hockey fan and Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov were like laughing the way they were during this like scene and Jacob or whoever Jake was supposed to be was like, all right, fellas, like, let's get serious. Okay.
Yes.
Because it's like,
Yes.
hey, you're not supposed to be enjoying this. Like, this is
Right.
supposed to be creating a specific moment for us.
You guys hate each other. Remember, you guys hate each other. It's like, no, we don't. We never did.
Yeah. And yeah, I just thought it was, and even that dynamic, right? Where it's like they couldn't even keep the rivalry like serious enough for 5 seconds.
For 5 seconds, for a commercial shoot, no less. Like, you guys are both getting paid big money. Like,
a lot of money.
They couldn't even keep it straight. Eunice there, like, Shane, you need to focus. Shane's like, you see that man down there?
Where are your Reeboks?
Never, not once in the whole show did he wear Reebok.
I know. I've always wondered if Reebok's a brand has something to do with that, but that is neither here nor there. But you know what? But I do think, this scene or this shot, like if you were to if Shane and Ilya in 2040 were to have a hall of the Louvre, there's no way this shot wouldn't be in it to tell their story.
Yes.
At all.
Yeah. It tells I think what we tried to do, and I don't know if we did intentionally, Nicole, but we really did try to form the trajectory of like their high points as we were going through this.
Yes.
And there's so many, but there are beats that stand out more than others as like pivotal moments. And I think this was one of them.
I agree. Yeah. It's a good one.
Yes.
Okay, so Tyra, what is our number 3?
So our number 3 one is, I'm very curious to know what people think about this, if people may potentially have this at their number 1 spot. But this is the scene of Ilya being cradled by Shane, laying on his chest after he has just said, I love you to Shane. And stunning. First of all, we have the orange light back. We have the orange light. I love that lighting because every time we see it, it signifies their connection. Like, Nicole, when I was looking at this photo today, it reminded me of like one of my favorite poems. And there's a line in it that says, we love with a love that was more than love. And that's what this felt like. Like they really love with a love that is more than just love. It's kind of all encompassing.
Okay.
It just
my friend is a well-read queen.
But it just the tears on both of them. You see the tear that is like coming out of Shane's eye. You see Ilya's in tears. They're mirroring each other as they do. Like in the mirroring of the scene too.
Girl.
My God. The mirroring of the scene. The tears, like Shane grasping at Ilya's hair. We gotta talk about this choice. Oh my God, I wish I could talk to Hudson about this choice of like every time he like grasps Ilya's hair, like what is that? Like,
and not just like happening? Massaging. It's like
it's tight. Like, it's like you can't leave me. Yeah. It's almost like a desperation. And I guess in a sense it is like a desperation.
It is.
It is. And it's interesting because we always, when we're talking about them in tandem, we always think about Ilya as being the one who is holding on for dear life, but they both are.
They are.
And
for the moments they have with each other, right?
Yes. Yes, they are. And the emotion on Connor's face in this still frame. We didn't get the line agony, but you see like agony and joy and pain. Like there's a gamut of emotion, and then you see the switch with Hudson where there is just like reverence and being within that moment because this is more than just love. Actor, this is everything. Oh my God.
Yes. I mean, this is my favorite scene.
This is
a scene that I revisit. I love this scene down.
Yes.
And it's because Hudson and Connor did it down. The directing was okay. So I agree with a lot of what, sorry, I have a lot to say, but one of the things I agree with you, the lighting. I love the lighting. It's what made it look less like a still in a TV show and more like a painting.
Yeah.
Because it just gave this, like, it gave a mood in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing though, when I watched this for the 20 millionth time for this, is I noted that if I were to watch, or if I were to look at this image, if I were to give this image to someone without any context,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't know who Shane Ilya was, they didn't know who Heated Rivalry was, they didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
They may assume this is the saddest scene of all time. That either someone died, or these two people were in a relationship and are saying goodbye forever or breaking up. Like this still is not maybe if I were to say no, these are two people who they literally right before this just said I love you to each other for the first time, it doesn't maybe add up. And so for me at least, just like looking at it, what I said is like, this scene represents them romantically in a way that I think a lot of other moments don't, because the moment they choose each other, which was this moment, they're choosing everything that comes with it, which means the secrecy, the sacrifices, and the years that they'll continue to spend hiding parts of themselves and the love that they have for each other. And so it's like their love is real, and we've acknowledged that, or they've acknowledged that to each other, but also the cost of it is just as real. And so there's a level of like happiness that comes with this scene. Like I've revisited it too many times.
Yeah.
But when you leave, there's still a weight on me when I watch it. That's like, man, this is not happily ever after. This is we love each other and fuck. This is going to be the most painful thing that we've also experienced as a couple or as people too, right?
Nicole, so like,
well, no, because I think sorry, but the last thing I'll say is like, so what this image and this scene has like shown me is that like joy often comes with a lot of grief, whether at the same time, whether in the future. But I feel like Shane and Ilya, unfortunately, are having to deal with that in real time. This is the most joyous moment. They're so relieved they finally got these feelings out after 10 years that, like, we love each other. But there's a level of grief in knowing that, like, they know what that means. They know what that future looks like for them. And that isn't this happily ever walking in the park and the clouds kind of thing.
It's uncertain.
And so there's a level of sadness when you're watching it. That's like, damn, these two people love each other so much, and they won't get to love the way they need to out loud. And I know that, and they know that, you know?
As you broke this down, it more just brings to mind that poem I was talking about, to be honest. And there's so much like that poem, it's about like deep love, but the unbearable weight and sadness of that deep love, because love is so easily lost. The person is so easily lost. We are, we're mortal, and it's so easy to lose it. And it's just, you finally get that moment of relief, but there's a new struggle after that. There's a new hurdle. And to your point, like you said, the journey is uncertain. It's unknown. We don't know how this is going to turn out. We don't know. They're trying to live in both the present and also the future. And those two things are diametrically opposed because of their situation at this current moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in that world. And it's just so sad. Now that
it's
you really broke it down in a beautiful way. Yeah.
Oh, well, but it's the same way. Like it's sad because then there's a level of grief for the past of like, fuck, we've lost these last 10 years too. This love is not just a moment that we're discovering now. We've felt this for years, and it's taken a long time for us to get here. So not only are we grieving the past, we're almost grieving the future of like, this level of joy that we have right now is not going to last in terms of how we have to live out the love that we have for each other. And that's what makes that scene so heartbreaking, is like the moment that Shane is laying out this plan and the love is being, they're confessing their love,
Mm-hmm.
not a single one of them smiles. There's no
Yeah.
level of giddiness or excitement because there's so much weight to their love that we feel, which is
Mm-hmm.
why we keep coming back to it, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there is just so they love each other, and they say this a lot in the books. Spoiler, but you can feel it in the show where it's like both Ilya and Shane are like, loving someone is easy. Ilya can go love a woman. Shane can go find a man and be in love easily. Another man, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's like you don't have to go through all of this difficulty and secrecy and like just like um not being able to be your full self. So why are
Yeah.
you going through this? And that, I think, is why we all come back to this story and love it so much, is that everything is against them.
Yeah.
Literally everything.
Yeah.
But their
Yeah.
love is so deep, and there's
Mm-hmm.
so much just like um hopefulness and bond between them that, like,
Yeah.
how could you not root for that and want that
Yeah.
for them?
Yeah. Yeah. And in that moment, what you kind of see too between them is the fear of reciprocation, the fear of someone
Yes.
saying that they love you back, because it can be a easier journey to be in love alone, as lonely as it
Oof.
is. Um, but the
Mm-hmm.
fear and the just uncertainty of someone seeing you and accepting you and loving you, loving parts of yourself that you don't even love. And
Ugh.
what does that mean and how to navigate that? And, you're thinking
Yes.
about all of those things in real time, and just, it should be a
Yes.
euphoric moment, and it should only be euphoric, but we are complicated. People are complicated, and it's never just the one thing that you're thinking about or feeling in that moment. Um,
Mm-mm. No.
oh God,
It's
it's so
it's
good.
definitely gotta be the most heartbreaking I love you scene I've seen in a romantic, like,
Yes.
television or movie show, and I think that's probably why it's my favorite, is because there's so
Mhm.
many layers to it. There is, like, this level of just incredible, like, relief that I feel for them that
Mhm.
finally they've said this,
Yeah.
but also I'm so heartbroken for them because it's
Yeah.
like, man, if the world were not the way it was, if you all's lives weren't the way it was,
Yeah.
this could have been out years ago,
Yep.
and also I know that y'all have, like, potentially years to go until you're able to actually live out the love that you deserve to live out
Mhm.
outwardly. And
Mhm.
so I just, like, and I can see that the way you said that, like, Connor's face and, like, Hudson, the way that you just all of a sudden see him and you're like, "Wait, is he crying?" Like,
Yeah.
and it's just
Yeah.
like they're coming to that pain and that realization in that moment too, and also
Mhm.
the relief in that way. And I just incredibly directed, incredibly acted. The fact that you could just still a moment and see all of that is just, like,
Mhm. Mhm.
unreal.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
unreal.
And then in this one shot, you get all of this
Correct.
subtext.
That's one shot.
You get all of this emotion. Um,
It's
which is
insane.
yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this anymore because I'm going to start
And,
crying.
sorry, and that's why the cottage will always be that girl. I will
Always.
always limit,
Oh.
like, the cottage episode will always be that girl.
It's so goddamn good.
It's
Nicole, it's so goddamn
it's
good. Whew. Okay, Nicole, what do we have at our number 2 ranked spot? What frame?
oh my god. Well, sorry guys, we're not moving on from something heavy to light because it's not. Number
Nothing else is light.
2. No. Number 2 is, the shot, and I believe it's episode 2, right?
It
It's
is.
episode 2,
It's
yes.
episode 2.
And it
Yep.
is Ilya standing between his father and, is he the minister?
The
Correct?
minister, yep, Svetlana's father.
Svetlana's, yeah, father, yes.
Mhm.
And you see Connor / Ilya kind of, like, looking off into the distance, and the father and the minister are talking. And so to me, again, I'm definitely referencing my notes on this, but the composition of the shot obviously is very deliberate, right? First, one, you have the chandelier behind Ilya's face that's, like, almost framing him like a royal portrait.
Mhm.
And then I said, while the adults are on either side, they're kind of creating like this visual cage for Ilya that he can't break free from, which is very like symbolic of his relationship at this point to Russia. Um, and I thought, because we talk a lot about like the amber and the golden lighting in scene, but I thought they did a really good job in this scene of the golden lighting. They make the room, it feels elegant, it feels regal, but there's a small like darkness layer to it that makes it not feel warm or comfortable the way that a lot of the other like amber golden scenes are in the show. And so it just felt like every moment or the framing of the scene felt like a way of reinforcing like the hierarchy and the tradition and the expectation from Ilya.
Yeah.
And he feels almost trapped between his father, the Russian government, hockey, his family expectations, and his own identity. And I felt like that shot visually showed that really well.
It does. It is 100% a cage. He is trapped inside of a life that he didn't choose and he doesn't want, but is unable to find a way out of it. So instead of like actively trying to figure out how to change his situation, he just disassociates from it completely. Which I love.
Yeah.
Like he could be it's like he's a bystander in his own story, which he kind of is at this point. He doesn't have any control over his life the way he would want to. And these two opposing figures are on the outside of him and they have more control over his life than he does. And like we said about the chandelier, because I feel like the chandelier is part of that cage too, the like cage of wealth and expectation. And there's also when like you can kind of see it a bit in this frame, like the windows, there's like a darkness to it, like almost a patina over it, which is you cannot clearly see outside, you can't clearly see inside. Like there is no transparency to Ilya's story. He can't be who he wants to be. He can't even fully understand who he is himself, but he can't even be transparent with a part about himself that he does know, which is just so sad. So it's kind of like, it's kind of like, you know, I can't feel the things I want to feel. So I just am going to feel nothing at all. And Connor's face in that scene. No. Oh my God. It is.
The level of disassociation. First of all, that face was meant to serve. Okay.
Baby.
Talk about it. In a world full of unservable faces, that face was meant to serve. Because they said disassociate, and he said, that's a model.
He said both.
I'm sorry.
A model. The cheekbones, the jawline.
That good disassociating. You, sir.
Never look better.
That's the art.
Sadness looks good on you.
The Louvre is calling.
It's calling. Mona, once again, Mona Lisa could never.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Sorry. Sorry.
But I thought what you were just saying about his look when I put like, he's the only one looking straight ahead. Like you said, he's almost disassociating. And the father and the minister are like focusing on each other. Yeah. And so no one's actually looking at him. And so something I was like writing down is like, he literally feels like caught between worlds where no one is really like paying attention or fully engaging with who Ilya is as Ilya the person.
Yep.
And so what I found clever about the composition is that he's at the center of the frame, but he has the least agency in it, right? Like, he's just there.
Yep.
And that normally, if you're watching a scene, not all the time, but like the person in the center is kind of like the main focus or has like, he's taking the lead on whatever we're watching on a television or a movie set, but everyone around him, or we hold authority, which is very symbolic of his life, that he's physically at the center, but emotionally isolated, kind of like what you were saying. Yeah.
Oh, and he's Cajun by the pomp and circumstance of that gala, of that ballroom,
of
all of the expectation of it. And he has to perform. He has to perform. And I think he's so over it at that point after like that really beautiful intimate moment with Shane that he just can't even fake it another moment. But everyone is performing at this place. His father with his medals and, regalia and all of that is just, there's all a performance. And I think he's probably grown up just, the performance is expected. You will do nothing less, nothing outside of that. And to like really be in your mind in this place that you don't want to be with, especially when Shane, we know, is like so close at this point. So far away, yet so close.
I know.
And
I forgot he's also there.
He's also in Russia, and he's just like, I want to be anywhere but here, and anywhere, Shane.
It's just so sad. And back to what you were saying about the chandelier, like the fact, I mean, I don't know if this is deliberate, but like, yeah, it was like framing right behind him is like, Ilya is kind of like the chandelier in his own life. Like chandeliers are there for decoration and being pretty and like just doing what it's supposed to do. And let's just be honest, chandeliers don't even really provide that much light. Like they're really there. They're symbolic of just like, we have a lot of money or just like regalness or royalty. And that is the way I think a lot of people in his life in Russia view Ilya. Like, just be the pretty boy, just play the hockey, make the money, like, give us what we need. Like, we don't really care about like, you and your function as much. Just like, as long as you're serving your purpose, we'll like let you exist. And so I thought it was really interesting. Like, he kind of plays a similar function to like,
that's so true.
To the thing is framing him in the back, and it's kind of sad.
Ooh, I like I like the juxtaposition of the chandelier and how like sharp it feels. Like the edges feel so sharp, and just like he is on a tightrope trying to make sure he doesn't get cut by everything that's around him. But there's kind of nowhere to go because he is trapped within this life and within this moment.
It makes me so sad. It's a beautiful shot.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Listen, and he looks gorgeous. 10s across the board.
Oh, that is the best Ilya Rozanov has looked all season. That outfit and the pushback hair.
Whoo! Between that and Vegas.
Oh, episode 2.
Episode 2. Men have never looked that good.
Men have never before episode 2. That's all I'll say. Men have never before episode 2.
Period.
He looked good. Okay. Well, so good. Also I will give Tyra credit because she brought that one into consideration and perfectly framed. Tyra, what is our number 1 spot?
Our number one shot, which has some of the most beautiful lighting. Once again, this has kind of turned into like a Connor story, like appreciation post a little bit the past couple of months. But some of the most beautiful lighting juxtaposition of light and dark in a scene. So this is in episode 6, after Shane has told Ilya that he would love to name the foundation after his mother, Marina. And we see like a little switch now, because usually Ilya is the one who's laying on Shane's chest, but this time Shane is laid across Ilya's chest. Ilya's hands is in Shane's hair. And the light, there's a lot of darkness within this scene. The only thing that is highlighted is the back of Shane's neck and Ilya's eyes. And
yes,
the eye acting in this scene. My God. But
perfection.
But what a beautiful just still frame. Like, this could be something that could go on the wall, Nicole. We could do that. We get away with this one as well.
Okay, I get away with this.
They're close.
This is artistic. Yeah. These are faces.
Yes.
This is artistic.
This is very artistic. But the interesting thing about this is another moment like we talked about with that Love You scene. This should be a moment full of joy.
Yes.
Just unadulterated joy. But there is an underlying tinge of sadness that we see in Ilya's face. Shane is pillowed on his chest. Shane's eyes are closed. Really just reveling in that moment with Ilya, and Ilya is somewhere else. Like, he's with Shane, but he is off somewhere else, looking towards the light that's shining in his face, which is very interesting. But it's this constant like thing with Ilya that we do see when we get to Long Game too. But in happiness, there is always a tinge of sadness with it. And this is just outlined
And so is their
beautifully.
story.
And so is their story, as we kind of highlighted through this list.
It's like, I am with you. One thing I said about it feeling like a painting is that this scene or this shot strips away a lot. Like, there's nothing but them existing in this moment. There's no like bed, there's no furniture, like whatever. It's just like them, very close up. And to your point, what you just said earlier about the lighting, I said the sunlight is across Ilya's face, but both of them partially remain in the shadow. And so there is this like beautiful balance of light and dark, which is literally their story, right? Like, there is like this lightness, and when you're reading or watching the show, it's like these just like romantic and just high highs, but then there are these low lows. And I felt like the lighting in the scene was very symbolic of that and of their relationship. And I also thought, like, the hands are what make this so artistic. Like,
it is,
to me, it's like they aren't just like cuddling or hugging. It's like they're holding on to each other for dear life in a way, is what it looked like for me. Like, it just felt like they were kind of like creating, and it also was like a symmetry, right? Because it's like hand, hand, and then hand, hand. And it just was like,
you doing it. I like this. I like that. Because it sparked something for me as you were talking. I'm like, oh yeah, girl. Go ahead. Continue.
Well, say it before I forget. I mean, I have other things, but if you want to comment on the hands, but it's just like.
So what you were saying, because it does feel like a barrier. Like they are trying to protect each other from the outside world. But what I love is the thing that's in light, like, we know Ilya, especially if you're someone who's read the book, he is the perceptive character. And it's like the light is highlighted across his eyes because he can foresee what will happen with this relationship. That it won't be this thing that is easy and
sunshine and rainbows.
Exactly. He can kind of see the storm ahead of it. And I'm like, it's so interesting that is where the light is shining, because he can foresee. And Shane, the light is on the back of his neck because
spoiler.
No, sorry. Sorry, y'all. It's a 5-year-old book. I'm mad at y'all.
Look, like I'm like, is it? That's crazy. Can't wait to read that book.
People out here talking about don't spoil the Odyssey. Huh?
Girl. Look, 20 years ago, they were like, don't spoil Titanic, babe.
What are we doing, y'all? Babe. I'm sorry. Okay.
I need y'all. Don't spoil, anyway, I digress. Y'all read y'all's books when y'all want to read y'all's books. So I said this scene comes after one of the biggest emotional breakthroughs, right? Like, like Shane is asking Ilya, what is your mom's name? And Ilya at this point is already disassociated. He tells them it's Harina, and Shane's immediately like, well, let's name the foundation after her. And then you have Ilya telling him, like, she would have loved you like I loved you, which is like the best line of all time. But I said that, like, the interesting part is after a scene like that, you could have just had like an emotional breakthrough. Because that is like one of the most romantic things someone could ever say is, let's start something that could surpass our own lives in honor of your mother, who's no longer with us. And instead of making it kind of this big thing, like, you just kind of see the filmmakers, I said, like, or, Jackson or Jacob or whoever, like, the hands become the language at that point. And so it's like, they're not just like touching each other's faces. It's like, to me, that shows like a sense of like support of almost like they're almost holding each other in place, similar to what you were saying, that like, grounding each other in that moment, because anything outside of that is going to test what that love and connection for them actually is. And then also the contrast between their expressions, because even after that, you see like Shane, he asked him to say I love you in Russian, and then you see Shane kind of like melting into Ilya, and clearly he's like at peace in a way.
Yeah.
But then you go back to Ilya's face, and there's a sense of sadness and a sense of like disassociation to it, right? And he almost looks like distant. And I thought that it's like, for me, Ilya's expression is like he's carrying like years of grief from his past and what he expects from his future in that moment. That like the grief in the past is obvious from his mother, but that's the way he associates himself with love, right? So like he's almost grieving his future of like, I love Shane so much in the same way that I love my mom so much, that I know that there's going to be an equal amount of love and pain that I'm going to have to now endure. That like we've solidified our bond in a way.
Because their situation is still so precarious too. Like,
at that
point, you don't know how long this is going to last or how hard you can hold on to it, which is another reason why I like the hands on the face, because there's this sense of like, can I keep this person? How long will I be able to keep this person?
Yes. Yes.
And, I guess you can be a person who like is just, I'm going to live in this moment and just only think about the good of it. But because of Ilya's experience, his past experience, he can't do that. You kind of have to weigh all of the other variables of life and say, there's beauty right now and it's good right now, but I've had that before. To your point, I've had beauty and it was good, and then that was taken away. When will this be taken away? When is the other shoe going to drop? Because I finally got this thing that I've been wanting for so long. When will I no longer have it? When will I lose it?
Yeah. This scene is so good because it's full of like obvious love and hope, but also there is a sense of like despair. And like, if I didn't have any knowledge of anything, I would be wondering like, why was this scene shot like that? And like, why was Ilya looking like that? And as we said, I think it's a beautiful visualization of their relationship, particularly at that point, but just in general. It's just two people who are like finding peace within each other, and they know that's the only peace they're probably going to get in a way.
And the peace is not even like fully how they would want to feel it or explore it or enjoy it. It's just partial.
Girl,
listen, if anybody goes to this museum with rankings 5 through 1, they bring a tissue or something. Bring a little hanky. You're gonna be in deep thought.
Because good luck
standing there.
Good luck. If we were to write the museum captions, good luck.
Good luck. Y'all don't want to know what these titles are.
No. Oh my God. And also, I can't wait to hear what you all are gonna say, because these there's just very different scenes. Like, I just like really like this top 5 because it explored a lot of different variables around who Shane and Ilya are. Okay. So now we're on to our
honorable mentions. So Nicole, what is your honorable mention for the frame that stole your heart? Or broke it, depending.
Look, both. Because that's what Shane and Ilya do, both at the same time. And I think everyone would agree with this one, or what my honorable mention is, which is everyone close your eyes. We're going back to Tampa, 2017, and we're sitting on that bed, and we are being rocked and hugged as Ilya Rozanov by the Shane Hollander.
So beautiful.
Y'all. Okay. Okay.
So beautiful.
So it's one of the most beautiful moments of this show. And it was also a moment, and I'm going to get into like the Louvre part of this, but it was a moment, I think, when we watched it, Tyra, I remember, because it wasn't in the book when we watched it initially, it was like, pause. I literally was like, I just wanted to like, it was like early morning and I wanted to like just throw every pillow and like furniture outside of my bedroom.
Yes.
I just couldn't handle it. So yeah, it gives me those kind of feelings. But okay, the reason why I said it feels like art. So obviously we have the warm lighting and the soft focus of the scene. But something that I thought when I was looking at the particular still that we saw when making this list is that their bodies, like the curve of their bodies, resemble a yin and yang for me. It's like they perfectly fit together. So we see them, obviously, they're two very separate, distinct people, but the composition almost makes them feel like inseparable in a way.
Yeah.
Like they like naturally complete each other, both physically in the scene, but then obviously in other ways as a relationship and as a couple. And the reason why yin and yang first came up is, I don't know about you, but in the 90s, like those were a big deal. Like you'd wear like yin and yang, you'd give like the necklace, the other part, whatever. Same. And so I don't know, that's what it came first, but they're obviously associated with balance and then harmony and then two opposing forces creating a whole. And to me, that is just like very representative of who Shane and Ilya are, but particularly in this moment. And the hug. The reason why that particular moment is just like, it is like Shane telling Ilya, like, you do not have to carry any of this alone. And when's the last time Ilya's probably felt or heard that in this particular way physically?
Yeah.
And then I noted, and I don't even know if this is going to make any sense, but I noted that how the scene, like reverses things a little bit, like their roles a little bit, or just like emotionally and physically, because when you look at them in this scene, like Shane, it looks like almost a parent comforting a loved one or a child, right? Like they're cradling, but it's opposite in what it looks like. Because normally the parent is the one sitting and they're like cradling the child or the loved one. And there's a role reversal there, which to me is very symbolic of like the role reversal that happens in that scene where Shane comes in super vulnerable and is like, I'm going to expose who I am and my feelings for this man. And then at the end, it's Ilya, the one who needed the scene more than Shane almost.
Yeah.
And I felt like that still is like a visual representation of that in a way, because if you were to look at that scene again without context, you could be like, oh, maybe Ilya is comforting this man, but it's like, no, it's actually Shane that is like the one who's giving the breakthrough, I guess.
And also like just completely encompassing Ilya too. Arms, legs, like Ilya is cradled on his chest, which is very much, I feel like, the way that Ilya needs to be comforted. He is someone who is very touch-starved. Like, again, Shay just knows what Ilya needs. And I like what you said about them being very yin and yang. It is. I thought about them like puzzle pieces, especially, you know, Ilya is like a puzzler. Like, he just can figure out how things fit together. And in this moment, he can figure out how they fit together. I love the like warm light, but I love the like city lights in through the window. They're like little tiny individual spotlights. But there's like a sheer curtain that's over it. There's not blackout curtains, it's sheer. So it's like we've gotten one step closer to them being transparent. They're transparent with their feelings. On the outside. On the outside. They're transparent with their feelings. And that kind of signifies that we're not completely open. There's still a barrier there, but we're getting there. And I thought that was so smart. I thought that was such a smart thing to do, like direction wise. But it's so interesting.
I love that.
You know what else I find interesting too is like the decor seems very like Eastern European. And I was just like,
girl, I hated it.
It seems Eastern European. And I'm just like, this feels like almost like Ilya is at home in Russia.
Oh my gosh. I thought I hated the bedding. I hated it because I was like, this feels very like this feels very, to me, like Holiday, like not Holiday, hey, peace and love to Holiday Inn, but it just felt very like,
Best Westernish or something, yeah.
Like, yeah, the things you like push off the bed when you get in the hotel.
You better.
Like, this has been sitting on this bed for years. Like, I hated it so much. But wait, I have a thought on that.
Okay.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I have a thought on that. Okay, so what I said was, what's interesting about Shane and Ilya is that I said the hotel rooms, but especially a bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's always been their safe space at this point in the relationship. Like, at this point, it's where their relationship has existed. Because up until now, that space has represented physical intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
But what makes this scene, on top of a lot of things, so great is that Jacob made it so that they had this moment, not just in like a hotel room that looks like annoyingly hotel roomish, but on a bed, and it changes the meaning of what the space means. So the bed is no longer just a place where they're connecting physically. It's where they can connect emotionally. It's where they can comfort each other. It's where they can feel comfortable enough to cry or like talk about things about his family, and they can like exist together in a way. And so a place that symbolized one thing can now kind of become a different part of their relationship that pushes the boundaries of like where they were. So like the hotel and the bed doesn't have to feel like this secret thing where they aren't able to express themselves. It's like they've given this place a different meaning, which I just really love about it too.
That's great, because you're so right. Because from this point onward, like all of their most important, impactful moments happen in bed. Like the first "I love you" and Shane saying the Arena Foundation, we can name it after your mother. So it has sort of like changed in their brain what this intimate moment or what this intimate space means to them, which is beautiful. Oh, I love that. Ooh, I hope that's something that'll be like a through line that we explore more in season 2. That would be great.
I actually would die for that. Let's give them more time in bed, just chit-chatting it up, and
oh my gosh, yeah.
Because
we love that little scene in episode 5, like when they hook up each other. We love that scene.
It's so much where she's like,
so good.
Everybody must know this. Shane Hollander is an asshole. Like,
the
give
joy
me more of
in
that.
We want to see people in relationships. Literally, that is like the bread and butter. I love like watching the fall and the lead up to it, but I kind of want to see the mundanity of your day-to-day life.
Living in it. And we know that's why Jacob included that 45-second moment, was to show that, like, when he, Shane no longer is like this rigid version of himself in Ilya's bed. But also, like after they're having sex, it's like they're just lying around, chilling out, and having these intimate couple moments. And it's like, we want to see that.
Please and thank you. Please and thank you.
Please. And with that, it's girl. Now that's a shot I would also get framed on my wall.
Yes,
because
that's
beautiful. A beautiful shot.
That's actually beautiful. A good oil painting of this. Oh, so good.
My mom would like come home and be like, who are they? And I'd be like, well, how much time do you have?
Right. Let me tell you a little story, a little tale
about a man named Shane and a man named Ilya. Okay, Tyra, what is your honorable mention?
Well, this one is going to be interesting. This one is going to be interesting. I'm really curious what you guys will think about this. But my honorable mention is in episode 6 of Cottage, after Ilya and Shane have been discovered by David. And they're standing in Shane's living room. And before I like really get into some of the things that are happening in the painting, the frame feels like a painting, is the aspect ratio of what's going on. Like, they are so small. Like, Shane and Ilya are so small compared to the space that's surrounding. Like, it's very like blown out their surrounding. It almost feels like they're in a snow globe. Like, this was a place that is protected and protective. Like, it'll keep them safe. It'll steal them. But on the other side of all of that glass is the real world, and they so much want to be a part of it, but can't afford to step forth into that place just yet. The part in that scene that I picked was after Ilya or Shane asks Ilya, would you go with me to my parents? And Ilya says, of course. And then the weight of everything that had just transpired with him being discovered just overcomes Shane, and he falls to his knees, and Ilya has his hands on his shoulders, and they're both in shadow. The light is like it's so much light on the outside. And I love this moment because this is the first time that Shane has broken down with someone else there, someone that he trusts. Every single time that we've seen Shane break down, to this degree, outside of like Rose confronting him about sexuality, has been by himself, has been within the shadows. And he finally has that safe space in Ilya that, akin to what you just picked, Nicole, where in that scene in episode 5, Shane was that to Ilya, and Ilya is this to Shane. He is, his safe space in that moment. He is his pillar, his protector. And it's so beautiful, but also so sad because they are still in this glass enclosed house, this snow globe. Like, you can only kind of exist in this way within these walls. Which is so incredibly it's so incredibly sad. Like, I guess it's the like story of this list is that there are things that they have and they found within each other that bring them such much joy, but there is a tinge of sadness to it because it can only exist in this certain place. It can't exist anywhere else. And it can only exist in this snow globe.
Yes, I love the image of the snow globe because I didn't think about that, but I love it because I also wrote down just like I said, the composition emphasizes scale, similar to what you were saying, and that like you see these two people and there's like these huge towering windows behind them, and Shane's position on the floor and he's even smaller. But there was something you said that I wrote down, or there's something you said that like reminded me of something when I was watching this, that we have to remember what the cottage represents for Shane, and that this is his safe space. This is his favorite place in the world. It's where he feels most protected and where he can go to get away from it all. And so this place that brings him so much safety and comfort is where he was unfortunately outed and exposed to by his dad, by David, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought this shot, whether done deliberately or not, like visualize that, where you see how small Shane and Ilya look amongst this space that's no longer comforting in that moment, at least,
because
right?
he lost a sense of control.
Yes, and you see like floor to ceiling windows, so like it's like exposure, and then you see Shane. I thought what was interesting in the frame that we looked at is like Shane is looking down and Ilya is looking to the right, I think, to the windows.
Yeah.
And it's like at that point in that moment, the only thing Shane is able to survive and take control of is that present moment. So he's looking down and he's trying to ground himself, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Ilya is looking out to the horizon and looking out because he's preparing them both for the thing they're going to have to face next, which is that conversation with his parents.
Yes, because it's very much the world is a scary place. That looked like the world. Ooh.
Yeah, but he knows Shane can't handle that at that moment, but he is, which is why we saw him before that moment being like, "Would you like me to come with you?" Because he knows like Shane is only able to process what he has right now, but I can be the one that supports us for 15 minutes down the road. Like I'm here as a grounding force, and I love that visual is there because you know, he's almost standing like a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And Shane is the one who's like grounded down and like hugging his legs in a way that's like, I need the support and I need that groundingness right now that like I've never had. And because we've seen Shane carry the weight of the world so well, and this is the first moment we're seeing him break, it's like that was such a good visual representation of just like that whole moment.
Oh my God. You said something about talking about the scale of them, and just the outside world is almost a more important aspect of their story than they are within their own story. Like everything around them, all the exterior factors are bigger than them in this moment of them two like finding each other, which is devastating because again, them being bystanders in their own life, which I think also is kind of like a theme in the long game. Because the external factors are the thing that are ever present in the loudest.
It's like what you said, they notice in that moment how small they are against the rest of the world, or just like how big the rest of the world is. Like us being together, there's just so much opposition to that. And that's like what that looked like visually, at least.
I love what you said. I love what you said. The rest of the world is bigger. Because that's so true. And like Ilya, like staring down the face of that, like holding himself up and Shane up. So interesting. It's so interesting. And it tells you a lot about who they are as people and how they're going to try to navigate this relationship, and whether their attempts to navigate it the way they want to will be successful. Because they do have to contend with how big the world is and how big their world is. It's not like they're unknown people too. Their world could be, if they were just regular people, their world could be a lot smaller. But it's so massive as that house that Shane had built.
Yes.
Interesting.
And the other thing, two other things I thought, and I'm not the one because someone else thought about this on Twitter threads months ago, but they're in the shot that we saw, there are like two loons outside, like two statue loons. Yeah, if you look, and then it's like, that could be like a visual representation for Shane and Ilya in that moment. But then also what I thought about the scene, which they're obviously like, it's so deliberate that they have Shane go down and like, you know, crouch down and like feel that support. But normally in a situation like that, to me, when you have like a towering person and someone down on the ground, there could be like a visual image of like a power dynamic in a way, but that's like not what this was at all. It showed what you said earlier. It showed like a new dynamic, because up until that point, the dynamic that we knew of Shane and Ilya is that they were equals. You always saw them like this. Even like outside of the book and the show, like Connor and Hudson are very visually the same height and the same kind of stature. And like, so you always saw them, you know, they're 1 and 2, like they are just like this. And so this was one of the first times outside of obviously like a sexual situation where you had one person down and one person up, and it was visually representative of like a new dynamic relationship where it was like, listen, we may not always be emotionally or mentally on the same page or feeling the same thing, but we're always supportive. We're always just like there for one another. And you can just see the moment that like Shane knew that like he was in a place that was supposed to be his safest place, and it brought him to his knees. Like he was just so like out of sorts and like didn't know what to do. And the one thing that he knew could ground him was Ilya. And he was like holding on for dear life. And
his
I just
new
thought that
safe
was
space.
such a nice
his new safe space.
And his new safe space in his old safe space. It's just like
yes. And it was because that David discovered them, that they went through that you can really discover that, oh, this is my safe space. It's not this thing. It's not this
it's not
house.
this place that I built from the ground
up.
Person.
Yes.
It's this person.
Exactly.
And I just thought that was, that shot, like, so again, good. I hate to say this, kudos to Tara because she brought this one to us. But the moment I started looking at it, I was like, oh, I'm about to dig in.
Like, I'm about to eat this up.
Insane.
Like,
no, not that. But I'm saying, like, this is like... No. I'm
you
just saying, like,
you did, though.
I'm saying I'm going to dig it. It's such a pivotal scene that I don't think a lot of people talk about that moment enough.
No, they don't. They don't. But it was, once again, it was necessary. Kind of had to happen. Because it illuminates so many things. I feel like that's really what the cottage was through all the like struggles or difficult moments. It just illuminated to them that you are the person. You're the one. You're it. Like they've proven each other right time and time again. Like Shane going to his knees, breaking down, where he's only ever done that within his family, and being like, no, you're the person I can do that with. You are a safe space. I can trust and believe that. It's just so beautiful, which is
it's so beautiful.
I could look at these shots all day.
No, good. Literally, y'all. If someone knows the number to the Louvre, I just want to give him a call.
Listen,
can you imagine? Hello. I have an idea for a new gallery. Honestly, let's just be real. The way that the Heated Rivalry money is moving these days, if you want eyeballs,
it would eat down in the Louvre. You know how it's a line for Mona? It would be a line for all of these. All of these.
Look, as I'm speaking, my laptop is sitting on 2 Behind the Blinds magazine covers. One, because they're thick as hell, but also because it's like, I have like 9 magazine covers. I would spend money to go see
100
Rivalry.
100%. Listen, I have this handy, courtesy of the Nicole. But look at that. Look at that.
And we love it. We love to see it.
We love to see it. And who would not stand in line?
Hello?
Yeah, I've stood in line.
I would literally go to see a timeline with images of Shane and Ilya. Like, can you imagine? Wouldn't that be so cool?
That would be a great installation. That would be a fabulous installation.
Child, the Mona Lisa would be like, I need to go find a new home.
Shaking in her boots.
I need to go find a new home. Because no one's coming to see me anymore. No.
Who do we talk to make that a possibility? The way that when we're talking offline, that we have the best ideas. I don't know. We have the greatest idea. That's a good idea.
Who do we talk to get an installation of Louvre? Well, girl, I don't.
Well, maybe not a Louvre. A more local installation.
I'm like, I love Heated Rivalry down, but I don't know if that's gonna be our ministry. Anyway, this was such a fun list.
It really was.
I really hope you all enjoyed it. Y'all, we love talking about this.
We do, but don't come for us. You know, we are not art history majors. We did not go to art college.
Don't tell me the triangle's no longer a thing.
Sorry, the terminology might not be right, but we love this show.
But if you do come with me about the triangle, I'm sorry, there's even behind me. We got triangle. This is a triangle. Like, that's a real artistic thing, right?
Period. It is.
Period.
Triangle.
Look, your homegirl will support you in anything. She said period.
Period. Triangle. Triangle offense and triangle. It's a lot of triangulation.
But you know what? Either way, we will probably do more Louvre episodes in the future because it's so much 100%. Fun to break down the show in such a visual way. This show gives so much. So
it does. And so we are interested in seeing what you guys put as your top still frame, enroll yourself in art college and get to work analyzing these photos.
What's her name? Kim Kardashian said, get to work.
People don't want to work these days.
Yeah,
that was the most unhinged shit I've ever seen. All right. Well, on that note, that is it for us. Another top 5 episode. Everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. Keep forgetting to say that, but please. And
please.
We will see. Please, we will see you all in the next one. Bye.
Bye.